It's another Tuesday morning. We'll tell you why right after this.
It.
And we're back.
We're
Tuesday
back.
It is.
It's still Tuesday.
It is still Tuesday.
Are we
there
Tuesday
are
on
still
Tuesdays?
There are still Tuesdays.
As long as there's Tuesdays, we'll be waffling, except for
the next two Tuesdays.
The next two
The next two
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays when we won't be waffling.
Good morning,
we
Beth.
always waffle on Tuesday, except the last two Tuesdays.
And then those two Tuesdays are too much Tuesdays.
Yeah, so don't
Perpetuatively.
miss us. We'll be gone next week because it's
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
And then New Year's Eve.
And
There's
then
holidays coming
New
up?
Year's
What?
Eve.
Wow.
It's
here.
I couldn't tell by the traffic in
It's
Springfield
on.
yesterday.
And you know it's on. You're right. Yeah. You know it's on because we kind of hit that lull. Like in my life, all
Yes.
the early December Christmas stuff, and then it's over. And then next thing you know, now it's family time.
I'm not going to lie. I was about a head case before the end of last week between all of the Festivus.
All of the festivities. There
All
was a
of
lot.
it.
Yep.
Because there was the choir concerts and the elf shop and the other things. And there were
Parade and
more.
the
There were
Christmas tree
parade, the
lighting
Christmas
and
tree
all
lighting
the
and
things.
events. That, holy moly. But then I looked at my calendar for this week and I was like, that is very manageable. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Quite an event.
Manageable. I can imagine Lauren's calendar being manageable is other people's nightmare.
Somebody, I had my calendar open one day, and I mean, I don't put everything on my calendar, but if I need to be in a spot at a time, I put it on my calendar.
Sure.
Some people use it as like a full day planner type thing. But somebody looked at my calendar over my shoulder one day, and they're like, "Ugh!"
Yeah. I know you well enough to know it's a lull week for you is a busy week for most normal people.
Yesterday, I didn't have anything on my calendar for today, and then my sister-in-law, Kizzy, the one that's doing the newspaper, messaged me, and she's like, "Hey, I need to ask you a question. Are you going to be in your office tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll be in my office tomorrow about 9:30." And she's like, "Okay." And I'm like, wait, should I put that on my calendar or should I leave it off of my calendar so I don't have anything on my calendar today? And I was like, but then I'll forget and go do something
Put
and
it
not
all
be
on
there.
the calendar. You got to put it on the
You gotta
calendar.
put it on the calendar.
Yeah.
I started using an AI calendar app called Motion, which is pretty handy.
I share with that. I don't want to put this on my calendar just because it just there's a day like that's full or I don't want to squeeze. So here's my workaround. I'll set an alarm.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I don't know. It's like this defiance in me. I'm not putting that on my calendar.
I don't blame you.
I'll set this alarm and I'll be like, "What's this? Oh yeah, it's that."
Why do I
thing
have an
that
alarm?
I put on my calendar yesterday that I didn't put on my calendar.
Beth says, Merry Christmas to all and your families. Well, thank
Merry
you, Beth.
Christmas,
Merry Christmas
Beth.
to you. I forgot twice why I needed to specifically go to Walmart yesterday while I was in Springfield. Like, Jared and I both got to the office at different times, and we're like, we kind of don't have any work today. Like, let's,
Nice.
that didn't
that
happen
weird?
too often. And I'm like, we followed up on some emails and stuff, and we're like, let's go to Springfield. We'll do some shopping. And so Jared and I went off shopping because we both kind of needed different ideas, and we needed a buddy system in Springfield's a good thing to do. And yeah.
Place to describe. I was in Springfield yesterday.
It was busy. We were all there all day. It was
You're
busy.
driving in Springfield, you need a buddy because you need a blocker.
Yeah,
You know?
you need somebody to be like, coming too hot. Somebody's coming too hot from the rear. But we were driving around. I'm like, there was one specific thing that I needed at Walmart, and it was the only place I could buy at any reasonable price at all. Forgot twice what it was.
That's awesome.
And then finally remembered, and I thought I was going to give myself a lobotomy. I was just really irritated about it.
So I'm having the creme brulee again.
Is that good?
Yeah, very good. But I want to show you something. So, Peter, can you put that picture on the screen?
Oh, did you make a creme brulee?
No.
Ooh.
What's that?
That is a salted caramel toffee hot chocolate from Silver Dollar City.
I was going to say, this is one of
Yeah.
Will's
You-
SDC pictures.
Yeah, I was just like, holy cow. It's not a coffee, but
That looks amazing.
it was pretty. But you could do a mocha instead of a hot chocolate, and it would be. Because those are little toffee chips floating on the whipped cream
that
on
what that
top.
was, toffee
Yeah.
chips?
Because I thought when I got it, I thought, oh,
looked
these
like-
are nuts.
Yeah, that would be gross in hot
Ew,
chocolate.
yeah.
You're going to get to the
I
end
don't
and
want
have
those
some
nuts.
soggy,
No, they were toffee chips.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
That makes sense.
It's really good.
Sounds like something Buddy the Elf would like.
I'm not a big
It is.
candy guy, but I love a Score bar or Heath bar.
Heath bar?
Yeah, those
Toffee is one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
I
I love
have
it.
never eaten a Heath bar in its natural state. I think I've only consumed Heath bar in
Yeah.
like cookies or
Yeah.
recipes.
I like Score better than Heath, but
Really?
Heath seems to be the popular. Score's almost got like a burnt.
Yep.
Oh, I
to
like
the
burnt.
toffee?
I like
Yep.
burnt sugar.
And yeah,
The Sonic
I'll have to
Blast
try
with the
one.
Heath bars in them are pretty good.
Yeah.
I like those.
I'm a Boomer Bear guy at Andy's, so that's
Okay.
almonds,
Is that what's
Heath
in it?
bar, and strawberries. It's
Interesting.
one of my favorites. I
would-
love, but I
I'm
love
gonna-
toffee.
I'm going to have to try that.
I like
I was
toffee.
born to be an old man. I'm gonna have Werther's just.
Just
yeah.
everywhere,
You and me
just
both.
falling out of your
I can't
pockets.
wait. You know, I already bought the sweaters and everything. You know, I'm
yeah,
all in.
Werther's just raining from
Yeah,
the
just
sky.
But
Werther's
Shelby made that toffee
everywhere.
for Christmas. So
I didn't get a piece of that. I
you
meant to
not?
grab it.
Oh.
Darn it.
maybe I can sneak one out for you. We
Yeah,
might have
if,
a
you,
little
if you've got an
left over.
extra one of those, send it my way. I would
Pretty good.
appreciate that. I do love a toffee. They're delicious. It was funny
Yummy.
because when we did Elf Shop, one of the things that we got were a Werther's. It wasn't the hard Werther's, but it was like a chew, like a caramel chew or something. The kids were like, Werther's? Like they were excited to see them. And I was like, that's interesting.
There you go.
Marketing works.
Yeah. I remember as a kid
Beautiful.
being like, Werther's?
Really?
Ugh.
No,
Yeah.
I was always
Oh,
into
I was
the
like, yeah,
Werther's.
I wasn't a big Werther's fan as a
Yeah,
kid.
love 'em.
I wasn't around them much, though. I didn't have many encounters.
Yeah. Butterscotch, toffee, those sort of things.
Yeah.
But I'm also
Ew.
an old soul. Like I love licorice.
Ugh, gross.
But I mean, as licorice
Yeah,
is.
I
but-
like
Black
black licorice
soul.
too. I don't.
It's so
Everybody
good.
is always on to hating them on the black licorice.
I don't
I
understand.
don't like that. That's one of the few things I don't like.
So
I mean,
good.
I understand I can understand how somebody would not like it.
Yeah, but then again, I was that kid like in grade school drinking black coffee.
Yeah.
So
With your
I
little
was that
briefcase.
kid.
And,
I'd have some black coffee as a kid.
oh man.
It'll stunt your growth.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, I like olives. I'll eat olives right out of the jar.
Yeah. See, I'm not an
And
olive.
see, there's people that don't like olives.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like making an olive relish and putting it on sandwiches
Yeah.
and stuff.
The whole
I
enchilada.
haven't made this yet, but I'm gonna, because I think it needs to happen. I'm gonna make an olive relish grilled cheese sandwich. And I know. What I'm thinking.
See, when we went to Israel, Shayna loves the
that
whole
might
Mediterranean diet thing. So she was in heaven eating
Yeah.
all of it, and I was just like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to get home to have a cheeseburger.
So here's why I think that the olive relish grilled cheese might work. If you remember Zio's,
Yes.
you get the baked formaggio. It was
I
an
never got the
appetizer.
baked
I like
It was
Zio's.
basically a hunk of mozzarella cheese in a little one of those little oval oven
Yeah.
pans with olive relish in
Yeah,
the middle of it, and
it'll
olive
work.
oil.
It'll be
drizzled
good.
on.
Okay.
Yeah, olive and cheese.
Now, see, I like olive oil. I just
Yeah.
don't
like
enjoy eating
olives.
olives. Yeah, like if when they put the pepper and salt and spices in the olive oil and you dip your bread in it, like
That's
wow,
great.
Come on.
That's
It's,
delicious.
balsamic vinegar.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Good stuff.
But that has olive oil in it, right?
So
yeah,
what-
you have one jar of olive oil, one jar of
Oh, yeah,
balsamic,
that's
and then
it,
you
yeah.
put
And
some
you mix.
basil and
Yep,
some
yep, yep.
oregano and stuff in there.
So what's
So
on
good.
the Christmas menus? We're talking about food here. We must all be hungry.
yeah.
We typically do. I'll boil some crab legs and some
Nice.
shrimp.
That's fun.
So that's kind of our Christmas Day thing as we go seafood.
That's
I think
fun.
Mom's
Yeah.
going to do that too. Peter's going to buy us a honey baked ham. He's
Nice.
already been tagged with that. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I don't know. I think I was deciding what I made for Christmas breakfast. I got to feeling bad because I asked the girls 2 days ago, what do you guys want for Christmas breakfast? And they were like, waffles, which they say every time. I say, what do you want for breakfast? And I'm like, no, waffles.
Well, they're good sponsors
Christmas
of the show.
waffles.
Yeah, and they're like, what do you...
Fondue.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, fondue would be fun. So I'm like, okay, what else? And they were like, pancakes. I'm like, not pancakes. These are
waffle without
things
dimples.
we regularly eat.
Just a boring waffle.
And so I was driving home last night and I got to feeling bad. Like I asked for their input and then just, crapped all over
Yeah.
it, basically.
If somebody did a knockoff show, it would
Yeah.
be called the Morning Pancake.
I'm picturing a Mel Brooks.
fall flat.
It's a word. Oh, that was nice.
I'm picturing a Mel Brooks version of the waffle called the Morning Pancake, and it's amazing in my head.
Somebody out there in Viewerland is going to have to cast for us. Like, who would play Laura?
David Seinfeld.
And what would be the weird thing about him? They got the space balls.
Pilot for
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
All right,
Okay.
we'll let Beth and Langdon work on that.
So
Those are all the viewers.
Chocolate fondue with strawberries, that'd be good. So I asked him again last night. I'm like, sorry guys, I didn't really mean to just ignore your ideas. Do you have any other ideas that we don't eat all of the time? And Claire goes, do you know what? I think we should make crepes. I was like, Christmas crepes it is, which
crepes.
just kept getting
Crap,
a
we're doing
thinner
crepes.
version of the same thing.
She didn't get in her way.
Roll it up for her though.
Yeah.
Put a little
Some
stuff
berries,
in
some whipped
it.
cream in there. We'll call it a crepe and act
They-
like we're French.
Finally got what they wanted.
Get some,
Just a different variation of
Get some
it.
link sausage and just roll them in a crate.
Yeah, like
yeah.
there you go. Merry Christmas.
Deep fry,
Pancakes.
batter it and deep fry it. You got it. Those are tradition.
You were talking about having them recast the show, like if they were, right? So as you said it, it hit me. In my dream, I had weird dreams last night because I didn't sleep well, and so
Because
there
the
was
new pillow.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was the pillow. But you said to me, "Hey man, good job on the new show. You had 71 views."
All right.
And I was
Good job.
And I remember thinking, I don't think I'm doing a new show.
Am I
didn't
doing a
know
new
I did
show?
it, but evidently I did a new show, and it was a wild success on K-Raj.
Oh, man.
we do have some new shows coming up, but
I
we're
It's weird though, and I'm
We're
having
still
to
teasing
all right,
them.
Lord, is that because I've had an
Yeah.
idea for a show for a long time. I
think
just
you
don't
should
know
pull
that
it
I have
right.
time to do
Yeah,
it.
that's
Yeah,
Maybe
true.
after my soccer coaching career, I can
Yeah.
start a new show. But
How long do you want to coach soccer? Do you know?
I don't know.
I don't know. I hung out with Lacey several times last
Yeah.
week, and we were talking about soccer and
Yeah.
coaching. And
I love it. I
Yeah.
love coaching with her. Been
Yeah.
coaching with her a long time, and,
Yeah.
and with Woob. But I don't know. We're going to Chicago in January. Woob and I to it's
Fun.
a national coaching convention. So if I'm still doing that, I must still enjoy it.
but there's a lot of good hair at the soccer coach convention.
There is. And
They
my
got a-
hair-
they got a whole
my hair
breakout-
got complimented last year at the National Soccer Coaches.
Whoa.
They got a-
by Alexi Lawless.
I don't know who that is.
Well, if you were introduced to soccer in the 90s, which many people were in the U.S.
was
because
not.
we
Oh, see, I heard
hosted-
Lucy Lawless and was all impressed.
Lexi Lawless. So he was the one known for his hair on the men's U.S. team. It was a big, tall center back that had this massive red afro with a headband.
yes,
and so
I like it.
yeah, it was. So when he looked at me and actually looked at Woob first with his long hair. He
Yeah.
goes, man, the hair. And then he looked at me and goes, and then this guy. And so
They got whole
it-
breakout sessions at these things at Hair. I
Yeah.
mean,
About
L'Oreal
hair,
sponsors
yeah.
a booth.
Discuss
I mean, it's a thing.
who your
Perk
barber
Plus
is.
everywhere.
Perk Plus is everywhere.
That's why we go to the exhibit hall to get free stuff, and they're handing out Coors Light and Perk Plus like
Yes. I mean, talk about a 90s starter kit, Coors Light and Perk Plus.
By the way,
Woo, let's get in the IROC
to show my
and
personal
go.
growth, I'm leaving the Coors Light comment alone today.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
because the links between it and soccer are just flying in my head. Leaving it alone.
What's funny is that
Just step it away.
they give away these really nice cups, so I get and I just dump it in the next trash can, then stack my cup and put it in my backpack. So I end up, with, I supply my.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I was like,
Yeah, there's these really nice plastic cups. So my kitchen's stocked with these things for when company come over and I don't want to have the nice stuff
hey,
out.
you've got your Coors Light cups?
Yeah, well, they're not Coors. There's like soccer something on
Oh,
it.
I figured they
Yeah.
had like at
It's
least the
usually
Coors Light logo.
Whoever sponsors the Coors Light.
Ballard went to Raging Kegger the other day.
The pastor's house.
He dumped all the Coors Light and kept the cups. So
That's so random. I just the idea of like doing anything soccer and beer other than watching soccer and drinking beer. Okay, I can see that. Like running after drinking beer is the worst thing
the guys
ever.
on my men's league team will tell you that they play better after some Coors Light.
Well, it's like golf. I mean, if you get on the golf course and have a beer, you're like, what does Jesse call it? He calls it something like liquid. Oh, he's got it.
Liquid
Maybe
courage.
like
courage. Yeah,
it just loosens
you
up the
don't
joints
care.
a little bit.
You
Yeah,
don't get so angry, right?
yeah. It's mainly just you're old and you need something to forget why every joint hurts.
Well, to remind you that you came out here to have fun, not because you're going to play for the PGA or on the PGA.
Most people forget that while playing
Right.
golf.
The 15 years we spent in Taekwondo, we called ibuprofen black belt candy.
Yeah,
It's just pop,
yeah.
pop,
You'd
pop,
have
pop,
to.
pop.
Well,
We
I mean, you
just ate it all
absolutely
the
have
time.
to.
That's why I didn't sleep well last night. I did just this ridiculous workout yesterday,
Ugh.
and so the pillow was supposed to make me sleep, but I was so sore
Body was
that
just
until I got up at like midnight 30 and took 3 ibuprofen.
yeah.
And that was the trick. I slept after that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I try not to, because it's like, all
I'm the same.
how
I try
much
not to
of
take
my,
it.
my liver, can
Yeah, how
handle?
much of my organs do I really want to
Yeah,
use
we're
the
already
rest of the
pounding the
time?
Nexium, so.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But I think you should have got the Mike Lindo My Pillow. You should have tried it.
I
think
have tried. That's why I didn't buy it. I have tried.
tried it. Did you try
My
sleeping
Pillow.
on it, or
No,
you just
I just like
poked
put
on
my
it?
head on it and was like, I
Yeah.
can't do it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a freedom pillow right there.
Well,
you gotta think about it.
I mean, I almost bought one just to support the guy.
Did
Of course.
Yeah, he got sued, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A couple times.
And then did he get? How did he walk? Did he get out of
I
that
don't- I
okay,
think so. People
or
just
is
bought
he doing
more
okay?
Pillows and more Geesa Dreams sheets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there you
yeah. You
go.
can buy all kinds of stuff. I mean, he's got like slippers and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff.
The whole thing.
It's a deal. It's a whole operation.
It's a
price of
whole
freedom.
thing.
I'm surprised he doesn't have a role in the Trump administration.
Probably.
There's
did.
still time. I mean, there's been.
There is still time. But I mean, he's been throwing down those nominations, like a blackjack. So boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yep.
None of them are liked by anybody.
Wow.
They're
There's a lot of
interesting.
them that are liked by a lot of people.
They're interesting. I don't know.
You gotta understand the haters have a megaphone.
Oh yeah.
And nobody else
Oh,
does.
yeah.
And so you have to
I'm
just
just
have
talking about the
everything.
opposition.
Everything, yeah, of course. Everything that you hear in the media, understand, or in the social discourse, just understand one side, one opinion has a megaphone that the other side doesn't have, and you're going to get it distorted.
I
You're going to
think
get
it's
it
a smaller megaphone than it used to be.
It certainly
too.
is.
I think so.
Yeah, X has helped tremendously. I love that place.
I know you do. You've said that
just
time and
love it.
time again.
The Wild
I
Wild
just
West.
don't want to have another login. I can't do one more login, so I will not get on X.
Yeah.
I
All
just
What's the
won't do
new
it.
one? People, Blue Sky, that are the people that are mad.
Yeah,
at
yeah, Blue Sky.
X.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody broke
It's-
off.
Well, they
the
named
government.
it Blue for a reason.
Yeah.
You know,
It
I
looks-
mean, duh.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Come on.
It looks a lot like the old Twitter.
But I mean, when the point is, we're not trying to create a free speech platform. We're trying to create a platform where only our opinions get shared.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what Blue Sky is. It's
Right.
like we want our echo chamber.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear any opposing views because
don't
it
think
hurts our
anybody's
feelings, and we're going
going
to.
to-
So they create a safe space.
Yeah.
Is exactly what they
I don't
do.
think many
Echo
people would-
chambers are awesome until you say the next thing that they hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get kicked out of that group. Yeah.
Yes.
It's, everybody loves you until you give them reason not to.
You learn. You figure it out pretty fast. So
Yeah.
What's going on in Rogersville? Let's see. We've done the parade. It's
Yeah.
kind of lots of local shopping can be done.
backlights on.
I feel like I need to make a trip over to American Made and do some Christmas shopping today, and I need to go over to Figgy's and do some Christmas shopping. I know that. What other good
It's the last week of school.
last week of school.
I've got one thing to buy, and I know what I'm going to get, and I know where I'm getting
You
it.
gotta
I'm
get
done.
it.
I'm done.
I gotta do some. I'm done with the bulk of it. I gotta do some smaller stuff.
Yeah.
Those gifts that you think, oh yeah, I gotta bring a gift to that.
Yeah,
That's where I'm at now.
I'll tell you what I do every year is I get done Christmas shopping, and I struggle with it. I'm like, what am I going to get? And I figure like, okay, well, I'll get them that. I'll get them
Yeah.
that. And then it's about this time of year, or really this would be a little early for me. Suddenly it hits me. I know exactly what to get everybody, but I've already done the shopping, and I'm like, I don't know what to do about this now. I guess I have to save it for birthdays or something.
You came up with the next good gift idea, is what you're saying?
Oh no! I came up with. I now know what the great gift is
Like,
that I
this
need to
is what
get.
I should
This
have
is what I
done.
should have gotten.
Yeah.
And
That's an interesting conundrum.
I have. Well, I mean, in the past, it would just be like everybody's getting bonus gifts. It's
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I have family members that sort of object to that. So.
The 4 Christmases. I didn't know about the $10 spending cap.
I still need to watch that again.
An Xbox.
I like putting
You get an Xbox for $10.
I like putting the satellite roof, satellite dish on the roof.
Yeah.
It's very Chevy Chasey.
Oh, it is.
But,
It is.
Yeah, it's worth it. I don't know. I think every year we get behind watching the movies. You know.
Yeah.
We watched 8-Bit Christmas the other night, which is
That's a good new one.
It's a good new one. I've heard great things about the best Christmas pageant ever. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, and I haven't seen that.
I think it's in theaters right now, and I've heard really good things about. I've heard that it is a new holiday classic, so I'm anxious to watch it. But I'm
Red
probably not gonna
One
go to the
streaming
theater.
on Amazon.
Red One.
Red One.
What is it?
Oh, it said red wine.
Really?
Is it action or fun or
Really? Yes. Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
I don't know.
No, it's good.
I don't know.
You can give it a try.
He's pretty good in Jumanji.
Oh look,
It's
I mean,
pretty
I
good.
like The Rock and things. I don't know if I'd like a Rock Christmas movie, but
you'd like this one.
I'm real weird about
Red
Christmas
One?
movies.
Red One. Yeah.
Like, what's the premise?
Is it like
The
Christmas
premise
movie,
is-
like Die Hard Christmas movie? Or?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no. I mean, if Die Hard was more Christmassy.
What?
Yeah, I
Santa
don't-
Claus gets
Die Hard
kidnapped. Let me
can't
just
get
leave it
any
that
more.
way.
Okay,
And they
yeah.
go to rescue Santa Claus.
I don't know.
It's good.
I don't know. I'm not an
It's a good
action.
movie.
I'm real weird about
You just
Christmas
got me excited
movies.
about Die Hard, though. I haven't seen it yet this year.
Real weird about Christmas movies.
Hallmark, on only Hallmark.
No, I don't really. Those are too much. I like just wholesome Christmas movies, like not
Christmas
necessarily
Vacation.
basically
Very wholesome.
like
For Christmas.
yeah. I like yeah.
These are not
Very
wholesome.
wholesome.
They're not very wholesome. Well, there's wholesome moments in them, right?
Wholesome
They're
moments.
kind of parodies on wholesome movies. Maybe that's what I like. Maybe I like parodies on wholesome movies. Christmas
whole new genre.
wholesome.
It is. It's like type that in
Movies.
Netflix and
Like
see what you
they're
get.
trying to be wholesome, but they just the
just
comedy
fails.
of life catches up with them. Yeah.
Becomes too real.
Yes.
So like Deck the Halls. That would
Deck
fit
the
that
Halls,
category.
yeah.
I like
I don't know
that
if
one
I've
a
seen
lot.
Deck the Halls.
I like it. Danny
Should watch
DeVito and Ferris Bueller, Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick.
Oh yeah.
Kristen Chenoweth is in that one, and then I think some other gal.
Somebody.
Is there a Dear Santa on Paramount Plus? We almost cut. Can you put that back up, Peter?
Dear Santa. Very interesting
Oh
and funny.
yeah,
Okay.
that's the one where I'm a
if I've
little.
seen
I
that.
don't want to see this. So the kid writes a letter to Santa, but misspells Santa.
Oh, it's Satan.
And it
Yeah,
goes to
yeah.
Satan, who is played by Jack Black. So I've heard a lot of funny things about that,
That does
too.
kind of sound funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Satan movies for Christmas.
I get like rage mad when they make the scary movies for Christmas. Like Krampus comes up on our thing. And,
Krampus.
it makes me so mad.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well,
just don't
okay.
do that with
Then
Christmas.
Red One has Gorilla and Krampus both in it, so you probably wouldn't like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But Krampus is kind of there's maybe a redeeming moment in it.
I get to the point of where it's too much action that I'm just out on Christmas movies. But I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
I acknowledge that it is weird. It's a weird thing that I personally have.
So you don't. Well, you would never watch the Fat Man.
No.
That is not your.
No. No.
Mel Gibson as Santa Claus. Fat Man. Yeah.
I did watch. What's the Billy Bob Thornton movie?
Bad Santa and Bad Santa 2.
Yeah.
Speaking of wholesome
Yeah.
Christmas movies.
Yeah, they're
That's right
not.
up your
Holy
wholesome fail
cow.
right there.
I do remember thinking this is BC,
That-
so
yeah, I
before
didn't
children,
thought about
that
that one.
Bad Santa was funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
That goes
Man.
way back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Violent Night. Yeah.
No, that
Violent
makes me
Night.
mad. That just angers me.
Man, yeah, these are not on my rotation.
Carry On was a pretty good action adventure movie. Happened during Christmas. Wouldn't call it a Christmas movie on Netflix. Okay, I haven't heard of Carry On either. Interesting.
No, I mean, if it's
Now,
Christmas
Carry On.
themed, even in the background, it's for me. It's Christmas.
we
movie.
have one of our traditions, probably marriage traditions, because it's just Shelby and I. We always save and watch White Christmas with Bing Crosby and Rosemary Clooney for Christmas Eve.
That's fun.
We have Christmas Eve with my parents, and we do all the stuff over there. And then when we come home, we put on White Christmas.
Yep. I like
What's
White
the
Christmas.
really? What's
Miracle on 34th Street? Is that what it's called?
what's the other one?
Those are the two big
George Bailey.
old ones.
Yeah, it's George Bailey. Which one's George Bailey?
I can't believe I can't remember the name of that.
What is
It's
that?
a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful
Oh,
Life.
yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Murray.
That one really
Zoom,
is.
zoom, paddles.
I'm not a fan. I mean, it's
It's
don't know.
nostalgia for me.
yeah. I did not watch that as a kid, so
We always did.
Yeah, I did.
And for some reason, Sound of Music. Why do they always play the Sound of Music
I don't know.
at Christmas time?
The Hills Are Alive.
Yeah, but
And
it
why is that Christmas?
Sound of Music.
should be like an
I don't
Easter
know.
movie or
Yeah,
something.
it's
like
quite odd to me, but whatever. Office Christmas party.
Christmas party.
But not for kids.
I take it's not. That's not like The Office.
Clarification.
I'd say it's just Office Christmas Party.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the funniest. What's Angela's last name from
There,
The
Langdon
Office? Does
pulled it
anyone know?
No.
Say it again.
Angela on The Office, her last name. Do you know what it is? Anyway, I saw a meme that was Trump appoints Angela, insert
I
last
did see
name,
that. Yeah,
to
yeah.
party event plan, or like, what
White
is it?
House event planner.
White House party,
That's
whatever.
that's
I was
brilliant.
like, that is pretty hilarious.
Epic. Yeah.
And she would be amazing at it.
Speaking of administration and cabinet and all that, are you following the Canada stuff?
No, what's going on in Canada?
Well, a little
Yeah.
bit.
I visited
Yeah.
there once, so I know
basically,
everything
Trudeau-
about it.
What I know is
Trudeau is
went to
falling
Mar-a-Lago
apart.
and like bent the knee.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened in
Well,
Canada?
Some key figures are stepping down off of his cabinet, and his popularity is crashing at the
Really?
moment, just tanking.
Any particular event that sparked this, or just
Well,
Canada
I
being
mean,
Canada?
The populist viewpoint is really taken over. I mean, there's enough outrage, but then now on the inside they're saying he wants too much control.
Grumbling.
Really?
You imagine
a
that?
leftist wants too much control.
But it's his own leftist party
Yeah.
that's saying enough is enough.
well, I
which
mean,
is-
that's exactly the same thing we
Yikes.
saw here. Is
Which-
what we saw the migration.
which typically means I don't want you to have control. I want to have control.
Right.
I'll do,
Yeah.
I'll do it better.
Yeah.
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 Well, I just remember Trump's comment. It's like, well, we're cutting off the aid to Canada. If they want us to help them, they can be a state. It's like, I'm thinking, I'm not sure I want all them Canadians voting in my election. You know, look what they came up with.
Yeah.
It's this Trudeau dude. So,
We'll
and
take
plus
the-
you can't
we'll
be
take the
one
western
state.
half of the
yeah,
country.
like Alberta. And,
Yeah.
all
Well, I
that
was thinking
stuff.
more on Ontario and or not Ontario.
I don't know my Canadian states.
Saskatchewan and Manitoba.
British Columbia.
Yeah. That starts getting a little left.
Yeah, British
Because it's
Columbia
on the
is
left
pretty
coast.
low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll take them.
It's,
We'll
an
take the
extension
mid,
it's an extension of Washington.
We'll take the North Midwest.
Yeah.
Then.
I'm having some interesting. I follow a couple of different Instagram people who live in foreign countries that have socialized medicine, and they do comparing like what healthcare is like in Italy, like emergency room visit in Italy versus emergency room visit in the U.S. And I'm also hearing a whole lot of stories right now about the healthcare system just crumbling. I mean, just absolutely crumbling. Like
in
stuff.
these other places?
No,
Or
here.
Yeah.
And it's not perfect there. It's not perfect anywhere. But I really have been thinking deeply about this healthcare thing, and I'm not never been for socialized healthcare, but we have to start trying to fix this. Like really trying to at least improve parts of it.
Well,
because we got some massive problems.
We need to let the doctors help fix it. The problem
Yeah.
has been trying to fix it.
But you say
because-
that though, and doctors are great at their job, but doctors aren't necessarily known for being the best at managing financials.
Well, here's I agree with that.
Yeah.
Here's what I mean by that is doctors are afraid to care for people anymore.
Yes, I agree with
That is
that.
the problem. So maybe that's systemic. Maybe that's what it, or that's symptomatic. That's the symptom of it. Is that now they're so scared by all of the regulations and all of the financial mess that they're afraid to actually care for people because it's just a lawsuit waiting to happen.
It's systemic, though, because it's the unholy alliance of big business and
Right.
big government
Right.
married together, and you've got this injection
yeah,
of
that's 100%
socialism
the problem.
that we started back with Medicare and all that jazz.
Well, that
and
is
Medicaid.
that truly, honestly, if you go back, I mean, Medicare, Medicaid entering the healthcare was probably the beginning of the end
for sure.
because we now have an entire populations of people who are basically given socialized medicine in a sense, and then the other parts are not.
Yeah.
But they still affect the other parts. But I also am not so sure that just the capitalist model of healthcare would have worked because those two things don't really go hand in hand, right? In my opinion, they don't really go hand in hand. So it's kind of interesting how to. I don't know.
Well,
I've
we
been
have-
really thinking about this because I know people who are being harmed by this as we speak, and it's really it's coming to a head, I
This
think.
is a difficult time to open the can on this one because I got to leave in 10 minutes to go to the doctor. But
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
But I kind of forgot what I was going to say. But I mean, the issue becomes like in the law we have a saying: it's hard cases make bad law, which is where you look at a situation and you know that the legal and just result is going to result in harm potentially to an innocent person. And you find the same thing in healthcare because you have to start from an underlying premise, which is what I hate it when I hear people say, well, healthcare is a human right. It's not, okay? Healthcare is not a right because a right is something that you can inherently provide for yourself and can only be taken away from you by somebody else. If somebody else has to provide it to you, it's not a right, it's a privilege.
Yeah.
It's a privilege. So you cannot say healthcare is a right because it inherently forces someone else to provide it for you. I mean, unless you're talking about trimming your own toenails, or whatever. If you can do it yourself, you have a right to do that. I have a right to free speech. I have it unless somebody takes it away from me. I have a right to defend myself unless somebody takes it away from me. I have a right to religion. I have a right to assembly. I have a right to all those things because I have them unless someone takes them away from me. And so you can't have a right to health care. Now, that produces sometimes what feels like an unjust result. It's like this person really needs health care and it's available, they just can't afford it. Well, you have to look at why can't they afford
But
it?
I think that's not so much the problem right now. I think a lot of the problem is people who are paying for health care are not receiving the care that they paid for.
Oh, but that's all part and parcel of the same system because you've created
I agree
a system
with
of
that.
control in order to solve this. Healthcare is a right problem, so we've started with a false premise, which has now created this behemoth of a monster to try to provide a right that does not exist, which, by the way, you see how that happens every single
Yeah,
time,
and
which has created a corrupt system, which now people that even when they pay for what they bargained for, they can't get
They're
it.
not getting it.
I'm going to fight with my insurance company right now.
Yeah.
And I've got a voicemail on my phone like, we got an answer for you. I'm like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Because I'm not afraid of the lawsuit, by the way.
But I think we can talk about what went wrong, but we need to be talking more about where do we start fixing it. And
Get the government out of it.
That's the first place. Because
so
right,
what
you
do we do? We take away Medicare and Medicaid from everybody who has it?
Absolutely, because here's the problem. See,
And then,
we've been
then what happens?
Well, we've been duped a little bit to think that if somebody needs help, the only place they can get it is the government. And that's a problem because that's not the right
But
solution.
do we refund all the money that all these people paid in with the expectation that they're going to have Medicare?
Well, it's like an insurance premium. I mean, you pay that, and when you stop paying your Medicare premium, then you stop
Well,
getting
but
it.
you've prepaid for your Medicare premium.
Well, that's
you
one
have.
way to look at
You
it.
100% have prepaid for your
Yeah.
Medicare premium.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
never
I mean,
used it,
you've
but I've
paid-
been paying it in for.
Oh, yeah, I have
Absolutely.
too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah,
what do? Do you refund them?
yeah, you could. Probably you should. So you'd have to figure out a prorated version of doing that because they've been provided some benefit. Because that if you've been receiving Medicare, I'd love to get that boon back. Yeah.
See, I mean that's my thing. So we've prepaid, in essence,
Well,
for
if
all of
nothing
this
else,
stuff.
you have to stop what you are doing, which means you don't necessarily have to prepay it or repay it, but you stop taking it and then you stop providing it. So, if I've paid it until I'm 54 years old, then I've got this much Medicare that I've got due me, and then so you prorate
whole
the benefit, and then
population would have-
eventually you phase the thing out. The problem is our government spends the money before they get it, so that money technically is already spent.
Yep.
So, but the answer is you've got to get the government out because right now there is no competitive model for business, so the prices can go up because you have a well that is as deep as is bottomless. You have a bottomless pit, which is the same exact problem we have with education. When we created this student loan free money system, you created a well that colleges could just draw into all they wanted, and what happened? Prices went out of control. Same thing happened with medicine. Whenever the government comes in and says, we'll pay for it, everybody that's selling it looks at it and says, well, we have somebody with deep pockets, we're going to jack up the price. It doesn't happen immediately, it happens over time, but it's obvious what happens.
Yep.
Deep pockets. Insurance
Yep.
companies are somewhat the same way.
Yeah, you can charge whatever you want. Now they're on Medicaid.
Well, I mean, you go to your
It'll get
doctor,
paid
they don't
for.
even bother to tell you what you're going to pay.
Yeah.
I mean, because we don't know. And then you get a letter from your insurance company 90 days later that says, this was your bill, and this is what we paid, and this is what you owe. I don't even know what happened.
Yeah.
90 days later, I'm done, you know? I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know. It's becoming a huge. It's been a problem, but it's becoming a huge problem. Like it's really getting broke.
Well, understand there's an entire private healthcare network that you don't have access to. I mean, if you have enough money, you don't go to the hospitals that are the public hospitals and all that stuff. There's an entire healthcare system that most people don't have access to because you don't have the money for it. And you don't know about it. But I mean, your corporate government elites aren't going to the hospitals you're going to. They're not buying the insurance you're buying. They're going to all private healthcare.
No,
That's
because
where
they have a ton of money to do that.
It's private school versus public school. You know, I mean, there's people that can and choose to go to a private school when their public schools are not doing what they want it to. So anyway, there it is.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think we got a big problem there, and I think it's going to come to a head in the next. I don't know what it's going to be, but
anytime you got bad cancer, you got to cut it out, and that always hurts.
Yeah,
I know.
It takes a while to heal.
What's hard with government is once these programs get established, they almost never get disbanded.
Yeah,
it's very hard to just cut a program that so many people are tethered to.
Cuts hurt, always do. Sometimes you got to do it.
I think it's tough too, though, to just
even if
say
there's a long-term gain, though, the problem is you lose your voting block in the short-term hurt.
Yeah.
I think
that's why most politicians will never do it.
Yep.
I think it's tough too, though, to just assume that humans. Let's get rid of the government and we're going to assume that humans are going to do the right thing because we all know that they're not consistently going to do the right thing.
No, they won't. But the government absolutely is not going to do the right thing. So
Yeah, I agree.
relying on your neighbors is better than relying on your government.
Yeah.
100%. And plus,
Yeah.
it's the duty of the church that we've given away to the government, and it's stolen the glory that belongs to God and given it to somebody else.
That's
So
why I say it all the
always
time. The churches started the hospitals, the colleges, and the orphanages, and they did it so well when this country first started. And then we took a back seat when they said, "Hey, we'll do it." Oh, okay. We'll just build bigger buildings and we'll have laser light shows,
Yeah.
and
Never
people will
should've
be
done
wowed.
never should have done it.
It's a mess.
Hey, that's a fun
Yeah.
waffle to end the year on, but
Yeah.
it's time to end that. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. Stay healthy. Eat turkey. Eat ham.
Christmas.
And be good.
Yeah,
All right.
Go
it'll
get
be
that
good.
creme brulee latte,
Creme
short-time
brulee.
coffee.
Awesome. We'll see you next year.
Blessings.
See you guys.